Today, I'm going to go over the current state of the market and how I think we can invest in the future. So I woke up this morning to a complete market crash. The vast majority of these high-rated meta players are down considerably in coins. Everything is a mess. A bunch of my investments are doing incredibly poor. I'm going to get into all of it today. So to start off, R9 is down to 43.2 million coins. He got all the way down to, I believe, 39 or 40 when I was sleeping. But that is a massive dip because he was at 50 million coins yesterday. Now, I believe there are two catalysts for this market crash. First, we got the free Haaland last night with a 91 universal rank up token, and tomorrow or later tonight for me, we're going to get a 90 rated Bellingham. Now, the reason why that made the market crash is because now people have these free cards. They could put them into the team and sell off the cards that they currently had for extra coins. But not only that, because people are now worried that their cards are going to go down in value, everybody just started fire selling every card they have, which is not the most logical thing to do. Essentially, everybody just panicked. Now, while it's important to note that Bellingham is probably the second or third best center mid in the game, Haaland is not in the top 3 or maybe even top 5 strikers in the game. So Haaland should not have had that much of an effect on strikers, but he did, as we saw. R9 went down to 40 million coins, Mbappe dropped down to the low 50s. Puskas went from 24 million to 500 people trying to sell him at 15.3. Now, I've played with Haaland and with Puskas, and I still think Puskas is better, but people are selling him off quite a bit. Even Samuel Eto'o, who's great in game, down to 14.3. And even Mbappe, who is incredible, the best striker in the game, at least his 93 rated version, 91 I'm sure is fairly close, he was being fire sold yesterday too. So that is the main reason why all the strikers were sold off. And if we go over to the center mid position, because now everybody knows about the Bellingham, a lot of these are down from where they were a little while ago. They're actually, some of them are creeping back up, but one of them, which of course happened to be one that I was invested in, Vieira, has dropped from 11 million coins down to 8, which is crazy, but a lot of the center mids have made that movement. Now, as you can see, people are now starting to buy them up when they're really low because a lot of these cards are now undervalued. Even with Bellingham in the game, it doesn't justify the price crashes that some of these guys saw. So now people are picking them up because they're like, you know what, this is way too cheap for me to pass on. So we're likely going to see a quick bounce right back up, which is similar to what we've seen here with the R9. The R9 hit about 40 and he's already bounced right back up to 43.2. I would have loved to buy a copy at 40, but instead I had to buy one at the 43. So as you can see, 43.2, I think he's going back up to 50 million. And to be honest, now that some people will have a striker Haaland and are looking for a secondary striker, we may see Ronaldo go up even past 50 million because people might have some extra coins to spend. So that was a catalyst for attackers and midfielders because I think it messed up the market a little bit considering people now are going to get 2 free cards. But the one market it did mess up was, of course, defenders, because we're only getting attacker and a center mid. But as I showed you guys, we didn't only get a Haaland, we also got a universal rank up token. So that means that now the ranked up versions of all these players are just a bit more expensive than their regular versions now. As you can see, Maldini's 32. Before, I think he was up at like 40, yeah, 48.6. Now he's down to 40. And that's because if people had Maldini and used a rank up token, which they just got for free, there's now a lot more people who are able to sell a ranked up version of Maldini. So his 1 rank and even 2 ranks up is definitely going to go down in price. As you can see, he was 76.5 million. Now he's down to 55 because a lot more people were able to rank him up and try to sell him in the market. And that even goes for R9 here. He's down to 60 million. He was up at 70 just a day ago. So we're seeing that across the board with a lot of these high rated players because people were probably trying to do it to make some extra coins. So that explains the attackers and center mids. But the other thing that has caused a shift in the market is the new milestone rewards. As you can see, we now have an 87 and a 91 rank up token, which is different than we had before. Here we have an 88 and 2 Dudex, plus these 88s are icons. They're also heroes. So players that we didn't expect to get before. And now we have an 89 to 91. This one might be the most dangerous because we have the Dudek, but we could also get tons of incredible players. Mateus, Ronaldinho, Hullet, Best. All of these guys are incredible, and if people are able to pack them for free, it means the prices of those cards are likely going to see a downtrend when these rewards come out, which should be in about 5 to 6 days time. And if we head over to the market, we could see that here we have 147 people trying to buy Mateus at 10.8 million, which is crazy. He's still the second best defensive mid in the game in my opinion, behind his 93 rated version. So I think it's a bit crazy that he's been fire sold down to 10.8 from about 16, 17 that he was at yesterday, but I could understand that the market is just fearful right now. Now I might buy some more copies at 10 million and see if he gets back up to 15. I know when the mystery signings rewards come out that there's a chance that he crashes again because people might be packing him, although I don't think that many people will end up get lucky enough to pack a 91 Mateus, but it may happen and we may see a price drop then, so I'm thinking of watching his price, and if he gets to like 8-9 million, I'm buying him up because that is so undervalued for him. Now the other guy that's been a bit of a headache for me is Ramirez. He was at 5.5 million roughly yesterday. He's now down to 3.6. I've never seen a sell-off this intense out of any player in the game. Now, of course, I assume he could also be packed in the mystery signings. We don't know for sure yet, and people sold him off because of the Cafu event was no longer a thing. But I mean, 3.6 million coins for an 89 rated card that could be used in exchanges in the future, and as a really good CDM in the game, I think 3.6 million is a bit undervalued for sure. Now, I'm not worried that I've lost 20 million coins on him. It is what it is. I'll take the hit, but I am also looking at buying him because the best times to buy are when the market crashes, everybody's fearful, and they're selling off. Because market crashes won't last forever. And the simple reason for that is this is a football game. And so people need to have a team to play football with. So if everybody fire sells their players and don't have a team, then they're not going to play the game. And so when they eventually go back and decide to play some matches, they're going to have to buy back those players. So it's not like these guys are going to zero for forever. Now, if they become outdated, that's another story. If we get a 91 rated Ramirez out of nowhere that outdates this 89 rated card, then I could see its price going down. That's warranted. But people panic selling cards is not a good reason. Anyways, as we saw earlier, Vieira is down to 5.6, which I think is crazy. He is a great player in the game. 5.6 million, that's a steal to me. But people might also be banking on the fact that they'll pack him in the mystery signings event, so it could be somewhat warranted. Now, something interesting that I saw is Kyle Walker is up to 5.74 million. I haven't put much time into thinking about what's going on here, but I genuinely don't know why everybody's buying up a Kyle Walker card. Now, what it could be is that people have gotten a free striker. They can now sell on a striker that they currently had that was tradable, and now they want to go and buff up their defense, and Kyle Walker is a way to increase the quality of your defense. So in my head, that's probably the only reason why he's going up, and I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of mid to maybe higher rated defenders are going up in value, but it is interesting to see. But with that being said, that is pretty much the current state of the overall market. A lot of these high rated players are just crashing and seeing insane dips in price. I think it's pretty crazy to see. But of course, like I said, defenders like Van Dijk are actually holding fairly well because people aren't going to get free copies of a defender. So with all that being said, I think there's now a new investment opportunity. I'm going to start watching the market very closely, scouring the market, and finding the best deals because I don't think we're going to have a large event coming out anytime soon, which means we shouldn't have a ton of new, really high rated players. And so if people want to buff up the teams, especially coming up to the end of another division rival cycle, I think it's ending in about 9 or 10 days, people are definitely going to have to come back and buy some of these meta players. So guys, I'm going to look at is someone like a Mateus down at 27.9, 28 million. He was up at 33, 34 million. I think he's definitely worth the 34, 35 million coin price tag. Even the 91 Mateus is a good shout. Someone like Puskás I might look into as well. High rated, great striker in game. And of course, the one I already invested in was R9. I think he's going back up to 50 million, maybe even further. That's just my opinion. Anyways, the final thing for today's video is I'm going to show you guys here my investment with Saliba. I bought them all at 2.65, I believe it was, million coins and sold them at 3.39. So I made about 4.5 million coins in total because I bought them all for 26 and sold them all for roughly 30. So I'm very happy with that investment, but he may be going a little bit higher. Yeah, he's already up to 3.4. I probably could have waited for him to go even further than that, but as you can see, there's tons of selling pressure now, so it's definitely going to take some time. And I don't feel like waiting. I just want to get my coins back, get liquid again, and be able to purchase players when they come up on the market soon. Anyways, that's all for today. I hope this video helped. If it did, please drop a like. If you're new, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.